Hi, I'm back. I'll be reading some more from the Disneyland Encyclopedia. Okay. Fireworks. Date Summer 1957 to ongoing. Episodes of the Disneyland TV series began with an animation of fireworks exploding over the park in 1954. However, Disneyland didn't actually have this pyrotechnic ability until the summer of 1957, according to the book Disneyland, the Nickel Tour. The fireworks were the brainstorm of entertainment director Tommy Walker, who was trying to persuade guests to linger in the park for dinner. Disneyland's first fireworks show was called Fantasy in the Sky, launched by pyrotechnicians from the northern area of the park where Mickey's Toontown would eventually be built. At the time, the beautiful bursts a kaleidoscope color synthesized to music and visible in some Anaheim neighborhoods were state of the art. Disneyland souvenir books were quick to show off the fireworks with dazzling photos and text about the cascade of effects and shower of color. The captains also noted how the appearance of Tinkerbell drew the curtain on daytime fun by shining the footlights on nighttime magic. Tink, actually a 71-year-old female circus aerialist named Teeny Klein joined the fireworks show in 1961. In the 21st century, the fireworks show was rethemed and renamed several times, each including an ever-present ellipse. Believe there's magic in the stars 2000. Believe in holiday magic 2001. Imagine a fantasy in the sky 2004 and Remember Dreams Come True 2005. These later shows added narration, new moves for Tinkerbell, and the most complex, expensive pyrotechnics yet, in an animalistic nod to its past glory. The original Fantasy in the Sky show returned briefly in 2005 and 2006 for several special events. Themed fireworks are also presented on Halloween and during the winter holidays. And as of 2009, the magical show has sent Dumbo and other flying characters aloft. Firework fans can find several examples of fireworks music on Disneyland recordings. The Fantasy in the Sky music made it onto Walt Disney Records, the official album 1997, while the music of the 21st century Fireworks shows appeared on later CD collections of park-related songs. The park schedule has stayed fairly uniform. The presentation lasts about a half hour, and fireworks are usually launched every night in the summer and on. Weekend nights year-round for a total of about 250 shows per year. A painted sign on a Frontierland wall reminds viewers all day long what to expect at night. LAODBHANG. First Aid and Lost Children map. Town Square TS-4 hub. H-4 dates 1955 to ongoing. Back in 1955, the faculties for First Aid and Lost Children were both headquartered in City Hall. The park map pinpointed the specific location and offered descriptions of the other two services. A doctor and registered nurses are always in attendance at the former, and experienced attendants maintain a special playground at the latter. Starting in 1958, the park souvenir books placed the First Aid and Lost Children rooms north of Main Street on the eastern side of the hub to elevate guests' anxieties and only First Aid sign depicted a cartoon Alice wearing a nurse's hat and the White Rabbit attending to guests, with Pluto looking on. The sign for Lost Children showed various Disney characters leading kids to safety by the hand. These days, the First Aid sign offers no cartoon graphics, just sedate text and a red cross. First Aid is in its own building off of the hub near the Plaza Inn. Inside are registered nurses who treat injuries, dispense free aspirin, and offer anti-nauseous remedies. There are also rooms with beds for a short rest and refrigerators for guests to store their medications. Most medical matters are pretty routine. Blisters are still the primary malady. The Lost Children area used to be located the Lost Children area used to be located next door to First Aid, but that space is now the Wish Lounge for kids, served by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Today's Lost Children's room is actually a subsection of the baby station, aka Baby Care Center, next to the Main Street Photo Supply seal. Here children have an attractive waiting area where they are tended to by entertaining cast members and shown Disney books and movies to help pass the time. Flagpole map. Town Square TS-6 dates. July 17, 1955 to ongoing. Since opening day, a flagpole has been located in the center of Town Square. But that wasn't the original plan. Walt Disney intended to place an old-fashioned bandstand in that spot. In fact, one was briefly installed there. However, just days before the park officially opened, Disney realized that the gazebo-like structure blocked guests' view of a Sleeping Beauty castle as they entered the park. Disney relocated the bandstand to the other end of Main Street and had a stately 65-foot tall flagpole erected in its place, surrounded by a 25-foot wide flower bed. Today, the flags of the United States and California fly from the top of the flagpole and are occasionally lowered to half-mast for September 11th observances. For example, interesting details add some colorful history to the flagpole area. The ornate base is said to have been rescued by EMILE KURI from under an electric light pole that was knocked down in a car accident. Two authentic 19th century French Army cannons are positioned nearby, 40 feet away from the flagpole and 90 feet from each other. Sitting around the flagpole is provided by old restored park benches from San Francisco. A respectful, patriotic flag lowering ceremony, usually attended by the Disneyland Band or the Dapper Dans, is held daily around dusk. City Hall provides the Pacific Times. Disney characters also frequent this area for meet and greet visits. On the flagpole's base is a plaque that quotes Walt Disney's opening day dedication speech. Disneyland. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideas, the dreams, and the hard facts which have created America with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. July 17th, 1955. Incidentally, this isn't the only flagpole erected at Disneyland in the 1950s. Flags for every state decorated the Court of Honor and the avenue of the flags. Today's guest will find another tall flagpole inside the entrance to Frontierland. Flight Circle, aka Thimbledrome Flight Circle map, Tomorrowland, T-21 date, September 1955 to January 1966. The Flight Circle was a free exhibit that opened about 2 months after the rest of Disneyland, located in the plaza area in front of the Moonliner rocket. The exhibit's paved circle was about 75 feet in diameter and had the 4 compass points marked in the center and was surrounded by a chain link fence. Guests stood behind this fence to watch demonstrations of motorized model planes, cars, and boats. Most of the planes were the type that whirled around in a circle by an operator holding a long cable. Model plane manufacturer Winmac, the original partners were named Winland and MCROSKEY was the first sponsor. Cox Manufacturing, a 10-year-old company that constructed a line of Thimbledrome model vehicles that burned Thimbledrome. Glow Fuel assumed sponsorship in 1957 and renamed the exhibit the Thimbledrome Flight Circle. The boats were nearby, motoring around a small pond. Anyone who heard the loud droning planes in the park can attest to their annoying noise. But somehow the exhibit proved popular enough to stay in operation for over a decade. An illustrious moment came when the Walker Man took off from the exhibit location in late 1965. A few months later, most of Tomorrowland was closed for major remodeling. Eventually, some of the flight circle real estate became a walkway, and part of it was transformed into the people movers loading area. Flight to the Moon map, Tomorrowland, T-16 dates, August 12th, 1967 to January 5th, 1975. The original rocket to the moon in Tomorrowland took guests on simulated lunar flights from July of 1955 to September of 1966. After closing for a major refurnishment, the attraction opened the following summer with a new sponsor, McDonnell Douglas, replacing Douglas aircraft a new ticket price D instead of C from the Disneyland ticket book, a new neighbor, the Carousel Theater and its Carousel of a Progress Show, and a dramatic new presentation. The updated Flight to the Moon simulator basically worked the same way as its predecessor, by showing a receding Earth on one screen and an approaching moon on another. But the new journey was much more authentic and technically advanced. In addition to accommodating more guests, the attraction boosted more and better effects inside the ship, including a brief moment of wastelessness and offered views of astronauts on the moon. Even more impressive was an elaborate new mission control area on display before the launch. Previously, the pre-flight area had been confined to a plain room where a short film was shown. Now it was a complex computer line area populated with audio animatronics scientists. This busy team was headed by a sophisticated A-A character named Tom Moreau, the director of mission control. Moreau described the about to launch Lunar Transport Flight 92 and directed guests to look at wall monitors and catch humorous footage of a supposed UFO that turned out to be a clumsy incoming bird. As ambitious as the flight to the moon update was, it still fell short of the other bold concept illustration sketched out by artist Bill Bosche, who had originally depicted the flight heading to Saturn and beyond. 2 years after it debuted, the flight to the moon was superseded by the real drama of Apollo 11, as the sight of actual astronauts walking, riding, and even swinging a golf club on the moon became more commonplace in the 70s. Attendance for Disneyland's lunar flight began to dwindle, leading to 1975's new and improved mission to Mars. Flight to the Moon's flight director Tom Moreau became a featured character in Interventions and Reed Rocket's Pizza Port. Now serves meals in the spot where Flight to the Moon once launched its guests. Flower Mart, aka Flower Market, map, Main Street, MS-5, MS-17, dates, 1957 to CA 1995. Fresh cut flowers wouldn't have lasted long in the California sunshine or survived a roll on the teacups. Fortunately, artificial flowers could do both. In 1957, Disneyland added the beautiful little flower mart or flower market to Main Street. To Main Street. Sold out of open-air carts on wheels, the world's finest natural flowers. The world's finest natural flowers, not grown by nature or were mobile, and so had two different locations. Originally, the flower mart was located halfway down the western side of Main Street, filling the smaller of the small, intersecting West Center Street. The plastic posies remained there until the Carnation ice cream parlor on the corner expanded into West West Center in 1977, sending the flower carts across the way to East Center Street, where portrait artists had formerly set up their easels. The flower mart vanished quietly in the mid-90s. In its heyday, over a dozen different blooms were available, even through the mail. Flying Saucers Map, Tomorrowland T-18 dates, August 6, 1961 to September 5, 1966, showing more ambition than practicability. Disneyland debuted its unique space-age bumper car ride in mid-1961. UFOs have been a hot topic throughout the 50s. When sightings headlined newspapers and bug-eyed Martins invaded America's drive-in movie screens. Thus, the time seemed right for flying saucers to invade Disneyland. The park's promotional literature played up the attraction. Fly your own flying saucer at the space terminal, touted the attraction poster. Each guest pilots his own ship in free flight, announced the 1961 souvenir book, Space Travel at a space station, captioned the 62 book for its flying saucers photo. Choose a flight pattern and away you go, extorted the 65 book. All intriguing descriptions to be sure. In reality, Disneyland's flying saucers properly should have been called the Hoovering saucers, operating in a circular open-air platform that covered a third of an acre next to the rocket to the moon attraction. The Bob Gurr designed saucers were small, one-seat hovercraft 6 feet in diameter. The saucers got airborne when they were lifted up by high-powered jets of air generated by large motors under the platform. When they hoovered successfully, the 64 saucers in two fleets of 32 could lift a few inches off the ground, though they had no controls, only handles inside the cockpits. The saucers could be steered independently by guests who only had to lean to dip their saucers in any direction, even into other saucers for some bumper bashing. was some bumper bashing. Unfortunately, persistent problems with the air jets led to lots of ground time for the e-ticket attraction. See ticket books. Body weight was an issue. Small guests couldn't get their saucers to dip anywhere, while some larger guests couldn't even get off the ground. Other guests occasionally turned their saucers completely over, risking a crash. Too often guests couldn't go anywhere because the whole system was shut itself down. Some 5 million pilots gave the testers a test flight, but after 5 years of headaches and extremely loud noises, Disney designers finally grounded the troublesome ride in 1966 and remodeled the whole area as the Tomorrowland stage in 1967. In 1967, FORTUOSITY shop map Main Street MS-4 dates October 3rd, 2008 to ongoing. The prime corner location on Main Street that was once the Upjohn Pharmacy, and then New Century Watches and Clocks became the FORTUOSITY shop in 2000, named after a SANGUINE song from the 19. Yeah? Hey.
Andrea, she's about to go shopping right now, and I need to hurry up and tell her before I get off shift.
I don't know.
Then cook anything, boo. It's your time to shine.
I don't know. I'm not really hungry yet.
No? Well, it's ILS, so what do you think everybody should eat today?
I don't know, maybe some hamburgers.
Hamburgers. Perfect.
Shop in 2008, named after a SANGUINE song from the 1967 Disney movie The Happiest Millionaire. The shop specializes in customized Disney watches, just as it did in its New Century days. Handbags, shirts, hats, and gifts supplement the timepieces in the front of the shop. Wire rings, bracelets, and camo fill the displays in a smaller side room. Side room. 40 Pounds of Trouble, 1962. 1962. Six theatrical movies featuring Disneyland. The Boys, a celebration of the Shaman Brothers' lives and music from Walt Disney Productions, 2009. 3 minutes of footage. Disneyland USA featurette from Disney, 1956, 42 minutes. Exit through the gift shop. Bad Skies, Oscar-nominated documentary from Paranoid Pictures, 2010, 6 minutes. 40 Pounds of Trouble, feature film from Universal Pictures, 1962, 19 minutes. Gaya Day at Disneyland, featurette from Walt Disney Productions, 1960, 27 minutes. That Thing You Do, Tom Hanks, Oscar-nominated feature film from 20th Century Fox, 1996, 15 seconds. 40 Pounds of Trouble, 1962. The first major movie to be filmed in Disneyland was made not by Disney but by Universal Pictures. Released in 1962, 40 Pounds of Trouble is a light family comedy starring Tony Curtis and Suzanne Pleshett. The 19 minutes of sunny Disneyland scenes include area footage, a ride on the Matterhorn bobsleds, and extinct park attractions such as the Skyway. But they are more notable for their fabrications. For instance, in the film, the monorail disembarks passengers at Town Square, and guests who board Peter Pan flight also go also get to go through the Mr. Toad and Snow White attractions. 40 years of adventure dates, 1995. Disneyland had lots to celebrate in 1995, and celebrate it did with its wide-ranging 40 years of adventure promotion. Back in 95, Mickey's Toontown still felt new. The 1994 blockbuster The Lion King was winning Oscars. The Lion King celebration was packing Main Street by day, and the Main Street Electrical Parade was still running at night. Best of all, 1995 welcomed the debut of the biggest single attraction since 1989 Splash Mountain, the landmark Indiana Jones adventure. Indiana Jones Adventure. Indy's exciting arrival was honored with a TV special and March bold emblems on the 1995 fun map and souvenir book, and a new gift shop, Indiana Jones Adventure Outpost, showcasing 40 years of adventure merchandise. Additionally, a unique time capsule was buried in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle on July 17th, the 40th anniversary of opening day. Fowler Joe, 1894 to 1993. Joe Fowler, the man in charge of building Disneyland, was born in Maine in 1894 after graduating from both the Naval Academy and MIT. Fowler worked as a naval architect, designing the World War II aircraft carriers Lexington and SAR ATOGA, and heading 24 naval shipyards in the 40s. Fowler retired from the U.S. Navy in 1948 as a Rear Admiral, but an introduction to Walt Disney brought him an invitation to oversee construction of Disney's new Anaheim project. He joined the Disneyland team in April 1954, began construction 3 months later, and a year later had the vast park ready for guests. Once Disneyland opened, Fowler supervised operations into the next decade and had a hand in every building project in the park. Within a few years, he was leading the way on several exceedingly complex Disneyland developments. The Matterhorn, the submarine voyage, and the monorail. In the 60s, Fowler took on New Orleans Square, the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the heavily remodeled Tomorrowland, all built while the park was still open for business. By the late 60s, Fowler was in charge of construction at Walt Disney World as a senior VP. He also ran the entire Imagineering department, designing new attractions before he finally managed to retire for good in 1978. Fowler, nicknamed Can Do for his optimism, was inducted as a Disney legend in 1990, 3 years before his death at age 99. At Disneyland, Fowler's Harbor in Frontierland is named after him. Fowler's Harbor, aka Fowler's Landing, map, Frontierland, FR-13, dates June 14, 1958 to ongoing. Fowler's Harbor is the name of the dock along the rivers of America where the sailing ship Columbia is often moored. Years ago, the Mike Fink keelboats launched just south of this dock, and the Indian war canoes launched just north. The dock's name is a tribute to Joe Fowler, the Navy admiral who supervised the construction of Disneyland and stayed on as a top Disney executive until 1978. Back in 1955, the little dock area was an informal, unnamed location for serving the Mark train. However, when the Columbia began berthing there in 1958, it was Christian Fowler's Harbor, or occasionally Fowler's Landing. Small structures at the harbor are decorated with Frontierland themed facades, including one that reads Fowler's Inn. For a while, one sign at Fowler's Harbor promoted a non-existent restaurant called Maure Potfish's Lobster House, named after Joe Fowler's wife. The serene 100-foot-long path that winds behind Fowler's Harbor offers picturesque views of Tom Sawyer Island. France, VANARSDALE, 1912 to 1999. One of Disneyland's hallmarks is extraordinary customer service. Van ARSDALE France was the man who first instructed the park's employees in conduct, and along the way he created many of the other training techniques still used throughout corporate America. France was born in Seattle in 1912 and earned a college degree in liberal arts 22 years later before holding a number of jobs and establishing himself as a labor relations expert in the 1940s, beginning his Disneyland career 4 months before the park opened. France and his assistant Dick Nunis, who would later become the president of Walt Disney Attractions, converted an abandoned house near the Disneyland construction site into a training center called the Personnel Annex. The Disneyland Hotel was later built on the property. Francis' task was to make Disneyland cast members the most efficient and CONGENIAL employees anywhere. Just as a clean park would inspire guests to avoid littering, polite employees, Walt Disney believed, would inspire guests to be on their best behavior. You can design, create, and build the most wonderful place in the world, he once said, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. To accomplish Disney's ambitious goals for Disneyland employees, Van France established Disney University, which was first convened in small trailers before moving to an office building outside the park's southeast corner. There, France wrote the manuals that set procedures and attitudes for decades to come. These manuals with names like you are on stage at Disneyland and the spirit of Disneyland taught Disneyland philosophy first and Pacific job skills second. Cast members learned how to create happiness before they learned how to serve food or park cars. France reinvented workers as actors and actresses in an elaborate show where our customers, not just the famous ones, were treated as special guests. Among his other duties in the park's first decade, France briefly supervised Tomorrowland, helped resolve traffic issues on the nearby streets, smoothed relations with the community, put together Backstage Disneyland, the first magazine for cast members, and set up the Disneyland Alumni Club. Though he officially retired in 1978, France stayed on as a consultant and spokesman. His autobiography, Window on Main Street, was published in 1991. Named a Disney legend 3 years later, Van France died in Newport Beach in 1999. Paul, F-R-E-E-S, Paul, 1920 to 1986. Guests may not know the name, but they certainly know the voice. Born Solomon Fries in Chicago in 1920, Paul Fries was a D-Day veteran who performed thousands of radio, TV, and movie voices in a career stretching from the 40s to the mid-80s. Movie buffs recognize him as a narrator of War of the Worlds 1953, the voice of the Talking Rings in The Time Machine 1960, and even as Tony Curtis's Josephine voice in Some Like It Hard 1959. Fans of Disney movies will also recall his vocals from The Absent-Minded Professor and The Monkey's Uncle, among others. On TV, he gave voices to many memorable cartoon characters, including Boris, Badonov, Ludwig Van Drake, and John and George on the Beatles cartoon show. He also voiced several famous characters in commercials, among them the Pillsbury Doughboy and Fruit Loops, Tucker Can Sam. Many more movies and cartoons followed, but it was at Disneyland that Freeze found his biggest audience since the late 60s. He has been heard by hundreds of millions of visitors on a variety of landmark attractions. He has voiced the ghost host in The Haunted Mansion, the auctioneer, and other woogs in Pirates of the Caribbean, and the shrinking scientist in Adventure Through Inner Space. He was also the original narrator for Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Paul Frees died of heart failure in 1986. 2 decades later, he was named a Disney legend. French Market Map, New Orleans Square, NOS-10 dates, July 24th, 1966 to ongoing. The French Market has been an attractive dining destination since New Orleans Square opened in 1966. The location CESTMAGNIFIQUE from its corner near the haunted mansion, the restaurant's patio. Yeah?
Can I talk to you, Firefly?
Yeah.
Can I close the door behind me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Wait, can I come in for real?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Guess who wants money from my aunt?
Diana.
Yes. I can't donate to her.
Oh.
Right? Because she wants money from my boyfriend now. I don't know. That's for my boyfriend. I promised him for hours.
Yeah.
It's my aunt's money. I can do anything I want with it.
Yes, you can.
I have a right.
Yeah.
You know, my brain is up with therapists, but Deborah with Diane did. I didn't set up with Diana.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what, and that's why she didn't go up to dinner with us. She was out for Liz.
Yeah.
Because I ended up with her. That's probably.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Emily. On any cost, I'll call you for help for me. Wait, how do you know? I'm not sure. There we go.
Okay.
And I'll let you know if somebody's in your chocolate bunny. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'm guarding it for my life.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
From its corner near the haunted mansion, the restaurant's patio, with 50 plus tables, offers ALFRESCO dining and expansive views of the rivers of America, and is located next to a small stage for live jazz. The restaurant's menu has changed considerably from the open-faced turkey on white sandwiches served in the late 60s to the more sophisticated Creole cuisine served today. Roasted beef, salmon, jambalaya, and signature clam chowder served in sourdough bread bowls, or some of the other buffet favorites. STOUFFE is the frozen food company that also sponsored the Plaza Pavilion, and the Tahitian Terrace was the longtime host here. Frontierland Map, Park P-15 dates July 17, 1955 to ongoing. converted some 20 acres and about 33% of Disneyland in the 1950s. The original Frontierland was the largest of the park's first 5 lands, even after New Orleans Square and Bear Country carved into Frontierland in the 60s and 70s. It was still bigger than either Tomorrowland or Adventureland. Much of this vast Frontierland acreage was and is accessible only by boat, mule, or train since the rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island, the Painted Desert, and Nature's Wonderland has walked over large portions of the territory. Early in the planning stages, Walt Disney decreed that one of the park's lands would be inspired by America's frontiers. Disneyland souvenir books added temporal boundaries, declaring these to be the frontiers from Revolutionary days to the Great Southwest SIC settlement, the late 1700s to the late 1800s, where guests would experience the high adventure of our forefathers who shaped our glorious history. True to that frontier spirit, the land was positioned in the western half of the park, and vast region appeared to be undeveloped. Yet this wilderness was carefully constructed and plenty of attractions added over the decades have transformed Frontierland into Funtierland, like Adventureland, the neighbor with a main entrance 30 feet to the south. Frontierland has an entrance from the hub. The portal, which spans a shallow pond, was built with real logs to look like the gates of a frontier stockade. Pre-opening concept drawings by both Bruce Bushman and Hobb, all white, MAN depicted guests passing teepees. Yes?
Will you help me with Diana drawing for this to chase me nuts again?
What is she doing now?
She's begging again.
What?
I can't stand her bugging me. She's standing me. I'm going to scream and break my head to pieces. Where is she? She's her bathroom. Where is she? There's she is. She's on her.
Diana, please stop bugging her. What did she do? What? 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 So? Well, you never, when you steal our food, you never repay us. You never do anything to us. Diana, so, there, she has a right. Because you do the same thing with us. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Because I know you.
some quiet, please. If we want to communicate with each other, there's no shouting. It goes for you too, Diana.
Depicted guests passing teepees before they enter the gate of the fort, but ultimately teepees were placed on the far west edge of Frontierland in the Indian village. Once under the stockade gates, guests found themselves 40 feet from a flagpole with a plaque presented to Walt Disney by the American Humane Association in 1955. Guests then walked toward a small Western style downtown that looks straight out of the 19th century, featuring wooden sidewalks, small shops, and a flamboyant saloon and a shooting gallery. Images of cowboy boots and horseshoes are stamped into the pavement, and country music drifts through there. Even the brown metal trash cans painted to look as if they were made out of place contribute to the theme. Some 300 feet from the Frontierland gates roll the rivers of America. More stores and restaurants line the walkway toward New Orleans Square on the left. Tom Sawyer Island appears straight ahead, and an expansive wilderness area stretches to the right. Plying the river's water isn't a way of watercraft. Everything from a grand paddle wheeler to simple canoes. In the 50s, a marshal's office stood along the main walkway. A miniature horse corral bordered the Frontierland shooting gallery, and the wilderness to the north was explored by a horse-drawn stagecoach, a lumbering muleback rustic, CONESTOJA wagons, and an old-fashioned mine train. More old West realism materialized every day in the form of a stage shootout between Sheriff Lucky and Black Bart in front of the Golden Horseshoe. While the basic building architecture has remained the same over the decades, massive changes have uprooted the low capacity transportation systems that used to explore the desert wilderness. The biggest modifications began in 1979 when a sweeping renovation added the high-speed, high-capacity, high-tech Big Thunder Mountain Railroad to the Nature's Wonderland area, followed a few years later by the Big Thunder Barbecue and Big Thunder Ranch, as well as a new pedestrian path into the back of Fantasyland. The stockade at the front gate has been remodeled twice, first in 1980 and again in 1992, and the nightly shows have graduated from Dixieland at Disneyland jazz concerts to the elaborate Fantasmic presentation. Even with even with the modernization Frontierland has stayed faithful to Walt Disney's original vision. His inspirational articulation of that vision would have been shown on the land's 1955 dedication plaque had it ever been installed. Frontierland is a tribute to the faith, courage, and ingenuity of the pioneers who blazed the trails across America. 5 decades later, the old frontiers of the past are still thrilling guests. Frontierland Miniature Museum Map. Frontierland F4-1 dates. Never built. Walt Disney's love of miniatures most obviously manifested in the storybook land canal boats over in Fantasyland. Almost found expression inside the Frontierland gates. According to some early concept drawings, the museum and stockade entrance would have shared the same style of hewn log architecture inside. The museum guests would have found displays of miniature towns, houses, and peoples, plus a small mechanical dancing man that foreshadowed the later audio animatronic figures of the 60s. Many of these displays and the mechanical man were actually created and in fact, back before a Disneyland plan was even under discussion, Walt Disney intended to send them on tour around the country. Ultimately, a museum did open in the park, but its theme was something that mid-50s TV audiences could more easily relate to. The King of the Wild Frontier in 1955, the Davy Crockett Frontier Museum opened in the same spot in the spot now occupied by Pioneer Mercantile. Frontierland Shooting Gallery, aka Frontierland Shooting Arcade, aka Frontierland Shooting Exposition. Map, Frontierland F4-26, dates July 12, 1957 to ongoing. 2 years after the park opened, the success of the Main Street Shooting Gallery prompted Disneyland executives to add a rooting tooting rifle range to Frontierland. The Frontierland Shooting Gallery opened along the right-hand side of Frontierland's main walkway in a 45-foot wide spot where the miniature horse canal had been. The rifles fired lead pellets at Frontier-themed metal targets that had to be laboriously repainted every night to keep the guns from being aimed too far from the targets. They were positioned in a cradle. Although the sheer weight of the rifles was enough to keep kids aiming them forward, as with the latter big game safari shooting gallery and Adventureland visits to the Frontierland Shooting Gallery require quarters, not admission tickets. Not admission tickets. Concerned with the hazardous lead dust generated by the pellets and the high maintenance of the gallery. In the spring of 1985, Imagineers installed 18 new electronic rifles that fired infrared beams and a new targets that also produce humorous sound effects. The gallery got a new name to Frontierland Shooting Arcade. The name and effects were updated once more with the 1996 debut of the Frontierland Later shooting exposition. The mining town of Boot Hill was the new target, and the effects included a skeleton that popped up when guests hit a graveyard shovel. Today, some other Boot Hill tombstones have played EPITA PHS reminiscent of those at the Haunted Mansion, and arrow shot straight and true, made its mark on Little Lou, says one. Frontier Trading Post map, Frontierland, F4-27 dates, July 17th, 1955 to 1987. From 1955 until the late 80s, guests who walked from the hub through the Frontierland stockade gates found the Frontier Trading Post on their immediate right. This store is not to be confused with the similarly named Indian Trading Post, which it existed over in the Indian village from 62 until 88. The Frontier Trading Post had a rustic wood plank design that fit right in with the stretch of walkway by the rowdy Frontierland Shooting Gallery. From its small space, the trading post sold frontier souvenirs, many of them related to the Davy Crockett craze that overwhelmed America in the mid-50s. The store's wooden Indian stair stands outside, but in 1987, the trading post name was added for the Westward Ho Trading Company. Fun photos map, Tomorrowland T-22, dates 1960 to 1965. In Disneyland's first decade, whenever vacancies opened up inside the exhibit buildings along the right hand side of Tomorrowland, fun photos were installed as temporary, inexpensive space fillers. The American Dairy Association exhibit, Bathroom of Tomorrow and Hall of Aluminum Fame, all got replaced at one time or another by fun photos. The fun of the photos was twofold. Guests got the pictures taken in front of painted Disneyland themed backgrounds, and those Polaroids were then developed while you wait. Quick. Developing photos was still a novelty back then. All the fun photos disappeared around 1966 when the buildings were completely remodeled for adventure through inner space and the characters sharp. Fun maps, dates 1958 to ongoing. Old poster-sized park maps are among the most evocative Disneyland collectibles called fun maps and sold at the park. These visually rich souvenirs recreate fond memories and build eager expectations. Many a fan has studied the maps for hours to recall previous visits and dream of the next one. The first fun map sold in the park was drawn by Disney legend Sam McKim, who seemed to specialize in park choreography. He also drew the Tom Sawyer Island maps. This 1958 map positioned the Disneyland Hotel in one corner, designed and priced for family fun, and Walt Disney's face and his opening day speech in another. It also had a compass featuring Tinkerbell and a legend to point out restrooms, telephones, future developments, and more. Best of all, detailed drawings and captions saturated the park layout with information. Nearly everything in Disneyland was labeled, even some things not usually identified. Swan Lake is the name of the Sleeping Beauty castle moat according to the 1958 map. The map also depicted Holidayland, West Frontierland, the heliport outside of Tomorrowland, and attractions that were never actually built in Disneyland, such as Adventures in Science, Edison Square, and Liberty Street. By the 90s, though, the maps were basically the same as they'd always been. They showed a range of design differences. For one thing, the size shifted from year to year. Maps have usually been around 30 inches wide by approximately 40 inches tall. Some of the maps included drawings of Disney characters around the perimeters. Some years the maps had far fewer captions, making them much less useful. The scale was inconsistent. Jungle Cruise animals might be as big as buildings, and Sleeping Beauty Castle would sometimes be shown approximately the same height as the Matterhorn, even though the castle is actually about half as tall as the mountain. The maps weren't being updated very frequently either. A fun map purchased new in 1994 had actually been drawn in 1989. Thus, it didn't include Mickey's Toontown, which had opened in 1993, and it still included the mile-long ball, which had been renamed in 1989. Cartoon heads were still sprinkled around the edges, though many guests would HORSE horse collar. A year later, a new 1995 map spotlighted Disneyland's 40th anniversary and the new Indiana Jones adventure. But that map also had problems until a quick revision, a reprint. The 95 map gave the wrong date for Disneyland's opening day. A fun map available for purchase in 2011 changed size again, this time to 27 inches by 34 inches. Walt Disney's face was back, and so were many more captions exemplified by the nine name sections of the Grand Canyon diorama. NOMENCLADU. We continue to be slippery. What moves gets called the hub have been called the plaza on the 58 fun map, the plaza hub on the 89 map, and the central plaza on the 2011 version. Okay, that's all for now. Bye-bye.